two, one, and action. Welcome, guys. Hey,
Hi.
this is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast, and tonight, guys, we're in the Lion's Den. Uh, you guys know that what the Lion's Den is all about. Those of you that follow me on the 10 different platforms that we're on tonight. So, hey, I appreciate you guys joining me. If you guys are in the UK or in Japan, and I know in Japan it's pretty early, and in UK it's pretty late. So if you guys can join me on the show, I really appreciate it. But tonight, guys, we are in Heath, Ohio. Uh, Trust me. The first thing I ask is, where's the candy? But apparently, they don't make candy in Heath, Ohio. Uh, but they do have a cool paranormal team up there that I want to get to know and talk to them. Uh, the name is the Glick Paranormal Society from Heath, Ohio. How you guys doing today?
Doing great. Doing
Good.
great.
Good,
Great,
good.
great.
Great. Okay. So, hey, for all you guys that are listening to me on Kick, Rumble, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, my personal Facebook page, and my paranormal podcast page. Guys, welcome to the show. Tonight we had the Click Paranormal. So, hey, all you guys are on the platform, jump over to their page. Make sure you guys hit that like, share, subscribe. Hey, let's get these numbers up for these guys. I want to see some numbers up before we leave this podcast tonight. If not, we're gonna have some problems. But anyway,
Oh,
hey, yeah, hey, Click, what's going on? Introduce yourselves one by one, starting with the founder.
I'm Nick. I'm the founder of the group. I have me, including the other 4 or 5 team members. One of them's missing right now, but I started this group back in 2022. However, we did not get as active as we did this year now that I've actually got real team members that are actually more active, more involved, and have actually been participating fund wise now and participating in looking up places that they want to go and investigate. Whereas before I didn't have that good of a team members, I was doing all the work. I was looking up places to go and investigate. I was trying to get money together. I was trying to look places up to, make our shirts and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had this group, like I said, since 2002, and we have now officially got active, and we actually have our official paranormal investigation booked for October 26th at the Bel Air House in Bel Air, Ohio. So we're all literally excited for that and can't wait.
Okay, well, welcome, welcome to the show. When I called you guys, and I believe I spoke to you,
Yep, we spoke with
and it seems like you guys are, you know, you guys want to, be a productive team, in the paranormal community, and it seems like you guys are out there, want to investigate and figure out the big thing. If you guys know what the big thing is. But with that said, let's go ahead and continue introducing the rest of your team.
Go ahead.
So I'm Tyler, originally from Texas,
What part?
Houston. Houston.
Uh, okay.
Born and raised here my whole life until about 3 years ago. Then I moved to Ohio, where I met Nick. He was a coworker of mine, and we just became friends immediately off the bat. One day he was like, "Hey, are you into paranormal?" And I was like, "Yeah, what you got?" And he told me about the group. He's like, "I want you to join." I was like, "Absolutely."
And now he unfortunately lives with me, so he has no choice.
Yeah, I'm dragged along anyways.
Okay.
And
I,
I'm Nora.
I got an aunt named Nora.
Is it N-A or N-O?
N.A.
Really?
That's
Mhm.
great. Not too many people have that name.
Yeah.
And guess where she's from?
Japan, Yokohama.
Nope, Houston.
Houston.
Okay.
Wow. I was born in Japan. I was going to be like, that is too.
Well, I'm going there at the end of October.
Nice.
Are you to Japan?
Yep, Tokyo.
Wow.
Tokyo Drift.
I'm hoping to catch some of that. Actually, that would be very interesting. I'm hoping to catch some of that. All right, Fatima, what you got for me?
I was born in Tennessee, but I currently live in Ohio. I'm the newest member of the group, and I've always had an interest in the paranormal and the occult, and I've done a lot of studying over the years, and I'm very excited to be part of the group. And I'm specifically I'm a tarot reader, diviner, and clairvoyant, and just bringing all that to the table and seeing what I can bring to the group.
Me and you're gonna have an interesting conversation in a little bit, because yeah, me and you're gonna have a talk because I'm curious to know on certain topics that we've discussed in Friday's podcast. Then I don't think I actually quite got the answer to. But the good thing about it is I am open to different, answers to different types of questions about tarot readers, clairvoyants, mediums, and so on and so on. But we'll get to that in a minute. But in the meantime, guys, I got to pay some bills, so I will be right back. And once I get back, the first question is going to pop right off. So, hey, I'll be right back in a minute.
Who is it you think you see? Do you know how much I make a year? I mean, even if I told you, you wouldn't believe it. Do you know what would happen if I suddenly decided to stop going into work? A business big enough that it could be listed on the NASDAQ goes belly up. Disappears. It ceases to exist without me. No, you clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot. You think that of me? No, I am the one who knocks. Goddamn right. Who is it you think you see?
All right, welcome back, guys. Hey, you guys knew who I am. This is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal, and tonight you guys are in the Lion's Den, but I am also in Heath, Ohio, talking to the Glick Paranormal Society. Guys, once again, welcome to the show. I really appreciate you guys having me on, and I am really thankful for you guys to answer the call when I called you guys to join me on the show. So we're just gonna jump right into the podcast, and we're gonna have a little fun. So, Nick, first question for you is, what was the whole reason for you putting this team together? No, let me back it up. What was the whole reason for you putting a team together?
Here. Hold on 1 second. My wife just came in.
Sure,
So
sure.
I gotta get all adjusted here. Here,
Hi, Betty.
Miracle, get down real quick. Turn your chair sideways. I told you to hold on. Betty, grab your chair and turn sideways.
Grab my chair. Sorry.
Hey, come here.
Or maybe.
Ugh.
Let me just drink.
This-
Definitely my drink.
As soon as Miss Thing gets in here. Okay, so we introduced everybody. So this is my wife, Betty. She's the co-founder. Herself.
I'm Daddy Glick.
Hi, Betty. How you doing?
And of course, this is
Good.
Uh,
Sorry
you
for
didn't
the
get
late coming.
Betty. You didn't get mad at me when I totally redesigned the logo for the advertising, did you?
No.
Okay, because when I did it, I'm like, man, that looks so freaking cool.
It
Because
does look cool.
I'm
yeah.
looking at it right now, and I'm like, man, I think these guys should use this as a logo, because it really looks nice, But thank you for allowing me to design something for you guys. Uh, it really stands out, and I'm not saying that your logo doesn't stand out, but I kind of like this one. Hell, I might use it for myself. I don't know. I might take it back. I mean, yeah, I'm using it. But the question is, guys, and Betty, I'm glad you're here. Is why did you originally put a team together? What was the purpose of that?
The purpose of putting the team together is I've always been interested in the paranormal. I've had my experiences growing up, and and so like I've had I'm an empath, so like
Hmm.
I feel people's emotions and their surrounding the negative, and so but basically ever since being a kid, I've always wanted to be part of a paranormal group, and then especially when like the TV shows started coming out, and it was pulling me in even more and more as I was getting older and watching these paranormal shows, and uh, so it took a while for me to figure out, what kind of name I wanted to go for. Like I had it for like I've always wanted to use my last name,
Hmm.
just to um, get the name out there. My original group name was actually going to be the Glick Paranormal Investigation, but then I was trying to figure out the acronym of the name, and I didn't really like that. So I was like,
Hmm.
let's do the Glick Paranormal Society. So the acronym is pretty cool, the GPS, So it's all like, who are you going to use to locate a ghost? Get a hold of the GPS.
The GPS, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a very unusual name,
It
and
is.
a lot of paranormal investigators don't use their last name for a paranormal team. I guess that's what makes it unusual,
Yeah. Because usually
But
they're either using um, the town they're affiliated with or
right.
grown up at or, stuff like that. But I wanted to be, like you said, unusual. I wanted to use my last name.
Okay,
And
that's cool.
because I know I have my oldest niece who was originally going to be a part of the group too, but
Hmm.
she just 19. So like,
She got
When
a lot
I-
of stuff going on right now.
when I turned, when I got the group going, she was really unable to do anything because, school and work and whatnot. So I was all like, you know what? We'll wait till you get a little older and you get yourself situated and whatnot. Give me a call.
There
We'll
you
get
go.
if you qualify, basically.
Now, let's talk about your first go around when you first got your original team. Uh, what, and if you want to share that with me, what was the reason why you wasn't able to kick things off that go around?
Meaning,
Had a lot to do with a babysitter.
yeah, pretty
A
much. That's
lot.
why it took so long
Yeah.
for it to actually kick off officially.
Mm-hmm.
And that was very weird.
Huh.
But so it was basically a lot to do with not having a babysitter. So that's why we weren't as active as I was when I originally started in the first place back in 2022. So about 2 years ago. But now that we actually have a definite babysitter who's willing to watch our little one from a couple of hours to overnight to a weekend if need be, because she knows how bad I want this investigation to go to. And, it's basically all I've talked about was I wanted to get a parent together. I want to get myself out there and just, I want to experience the world and not be stuck in one place. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I've lived in Texas. I've lived in Mississippi. I've pretty much been all over Ohio. But I don't want to just to do that. I actually want to experience the unknown, the paranormal, what goes bump in the night or even in the day,
Yeah, stuff happens in the daytime. And definitely.
Yes, but a lot of people don't think that.
No. We've actually had a couple of personal experiences happen during the day. I know it growing up. I've had stuff happen during the day to me. She's told me she's had stuff happen to her during the day. What about you, sir?
Tyler,
I'm trying to think.
Hi.
Most of my stuff has been at night. Hey guys.
Hi,
And most of mine was teenage hijinks where we heard a urban legend, so let's drive around and go find it type. Me and my friends growing up, we've seen some few things like that. And then it got into where that old MTV show Fear, where they went into the paranormal stuff and they did those tasks. That's where I got kicked off with a lot of the activity.
Okay. All right, guys. Couple of quick questions for you guys. Are you guys able to see once I post it up? Or you guys be able to see the comments?
I saw the friend from Laredo. So hi, friend in Laredo.
Yeah.
All right, there's one for you.
You guys have it. Yes, we do. Fatuma is the one that's clairvoyant. She's got a few clairvoyant skills, right,
Right
Fatuma? Go ahead and
Yeah.
explain that to the
Yeah.
Trust.
I am specifically clairaudient and clairvoyant, both.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hi, Mike. How you doing today, sir? I'm doing great. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate you guys. Angel Torres would like to know
what kind of equipment do we use? So far we only have the basics. We use our personal phones for the cameras for pictures.
we got cat ball.
We have cat ball light up.
We have a buddy bear.
Buddy bear. Will you do me a favor since
Yes.
I'm like trapped? Go. I am trapped. I cannot get out. Go in our bedroom and get my laptop bag.
Oh.
It's got all the equipment in there,
Oh.
so that I can show them.
And then I have
It's on the,
I have a voice recorder that it can record for up to 5 hours, and it's supposed to pick up background sounds.
Damn, for 5 hours? Hell, I need one of those. Where'd you get that from?
Amazon,
I think it was Amazon.
Wow, is it
it's kind of a little, it's like
is
the
it-
size of
It's just a
watch.
little tiny circle like this.
Yeah,
Really?
You
it's
can
not-
hang it on your bag. Yep.
But
You can
yeah,
hang it on
so
your bag or whatever.
wow? I'm gonna have to look into that. That's interesting.
but yeah, we have like we use a digital camera
Okay.
with an SD memory card so that I could just input that into the laptop and do a visual. And then we have this little guy right here. He's actually a Boo Buddy. We got him off of Ghost Stop.
Yeah.
He is a EMF and a motion detector, like all in one. And then we got our EMF detector, which is kind of cool. Probably needs a new battery. Yep, there we go. It works.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And then we have the Elliptius EVP, which I got that off of Amazon, which is actually, I really like this a lot.
Mhm. Okay.
And then the cat ball that my wife is referring to
Cat ball.
is this little thing,
We get more action from the cat ball than
and it
anything.
lights up. It's a motion sensor, so like, basically you touch it, it lights up. We've gotten a lot more actions
Mhm.
with the cat ball than we have with anything else
Yeah.
so far. My wife is actually going to get me. There is a paranormal equipment that I really want to get, and it's called the SLS camera.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like obsessed with that camera, so I want to get that for me for my birthday next month. My birthday's next month on the 18th. What, you want
Okay.
a cat ball? You want a cat ball? But
So,
yeah,
guys. Okay.
those are the equipment that we have so far.
Okay. One of the questions that I have for you guys is, how many members are exactly on your team?
How many active members?
Yes.
There's me, my wife, Betty, Tyler, Batuma, Chris, and Sam and Nora. So there's 6 of us all together.
Now, can you tell me what their active roles are?
Actually, we're kind of like still fresh into it. Like I'm still kind of like trying to figure out who would fit into what roles better.
Mhm.
But Fatuma is basically, I feel like she's going to be more of the sensitive of our group, like pinpointing hot spots, I guess you would say. I would probably, since I'm more tech savvy, I'm probably going to be the one kind of somewhat behind the scene type deal, but not really, because since there's 6 of us all together, we are definitely always going to do a buddy system unless one of us says, hey, I'm going to go solo. Okay, we'll go solo after our initial investigation first, before
Okay.
we split off to go our ways.
Oh yeah.
That's
Right.
like that's the main thing. Have we
Okay.
investigated junkyards? No, we have not.
You might want to. That'd be very interesting to do. I mean, I've investigated a couple of them, and man, junkyards are pretty active.
I never would have thought.
Uh,
I never thought so either. Our when I think of paranormal junkyard, the first thing that actually popped into my head was 13th Ghost.
I was thinking 13 Ghosts too at the very beginning. Yeah.
Yep, 13th Ghost.
Yeah, it's junkyards.
I do want to get is the obelisk. I want to get that.
Actually, junkyards are pretty active, man. Some of these haunted junkyards, man. When there's tragedy, auto accidents that's really tragic. You lose someone. People are being thrown all different types of ways, multiple cars. People are dying pretty sudden, so they really don't know they're dead.
Yeah, you're actually, that is a very valid point there, because a lot of the times when there's been a traumatic death, the spirits tend to get trapped in that area of
Yeah.
traumatic
And yeah, it's very interesting.
Right.
But yet, a junkyard is very interesting.
Psychometry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. What I would like to do is have each one of you guys tell me your personal experiences on why you guys joined the team. So starting with Fatima.
Well, it kind of goes back. It's kind of a sad story, but it kind of has to do with when my psychic abilities kind of turned on, if you will. I lost my son in 2017 to a suicide, and that's kind of when my abilities kind of turned on, if you will. And it really is true what they say about, we all have psychic abilities, but sometimes they really don't kind of turn on until something traumatic happens to a person. But it really is true that sometimes it takes something traumatic to happen to a person to kind of awaken them, if you will. So a couple of days before my son died, I had an experience where I encountered a banshee. And at the time, I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what I had experienced. But I mean, I can tell you about the experience if you want to hear it real quick.
Sure.
But I was laying in bed. I was starting to wake up. And I experienced this black mass that came rushing towards my face, and experienced this horrible screeching sound that was absolutely terrifying. And I literally just sat up in bed and couldn't, my heart was just pounding, and I couldn't, hardly catch my breath. And all I could really do was kind of sit there and hold the dog, kind of thing. And it was just absolutely terrifying experience. And then a couple of days later was when my son had shot himself. And at that time, I didn't really know what that experience was. I just thought it was a bad omen, kind of thing. But years later, I had went to another reader, and she was like, "Oh, that was definitely a banshee." And I have Irish roots, and she didn't know that at the time, but I definitely have Irish roots in my family. And the connection to the banshee made perfect sense to me when she said that. And I was like, wow, that really kind of tied everything together for me. And that's really why I joined the group. That's one of the reasons I joined the group. Was, kind of just, I don't know, just kind of tying everything together and wanting to explore things more,
Okay. Now, Sam and Nara, tell me a little bit about what's going on in your lives. Why did you guys decide that you want to join this, this paranormal venture? with the Click Paranormal Society?
All right, so I can let you know that I joined the group kind of just on the wings of Nara here as something that she wanted to do. I've actually never had an experience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. I believe that there are things out there. So I'm excited to check things out and learn about the whole process.
Okay. So are you a semi skeptic at the moment, and since you
I'd
never
say yes.
experienced anything?
Yeah, I'd say I'm a semi-skeptic, yes. But
Okay.
I believe that there's more out there. I just haven't seen it. So I'm excited to
Mm.
see what's out there.
He's like one of those. I'll believe it when I see it. That's what
Yeah.
she
Okay.
is. She's the
Okay.
Yeah.
opposite when I see it.
Now, I
And
mean, are you the skeptic of the team? Are you the one that you guys are at a location and you hear this thing that go blank, 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 but you got this giant windmill sitting outside that's turning? Are you the first one to go outside and like plump, 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 and you hear the windmill turning? Are you the one that does that? Since you are the skeptic of the bunch.
Yeah.
yeah, that would be me.
She's
Okay.
she's gonna. I guess you could say that she's gonna be my debunker or my
Yes.
debunker assistant because I'm gonna be running and debunking stuff. Like, wait, no, you guys are crazy. That's not what it sounds like. Let's do this first.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then
she's
and
like
then
gonna
Nara.
be my debunker assistant.
Mm. Okay, Sam, go ahead, please.
Well, I was just gonna say, and then Nara, her reasons for wanting to get in. Go ahead.
So when I was a kid, I would have dreams and things would happen exactly like the dreams. One time I had a dream about my sisters arguing over who got to help me and who got to watch me bleed. And I ran into a mailbox and I was in the hospital for like a week and they were fighting over who was going to help me. So I hadn't left the house for like a week before that because I kept having it. So I have reoccurring dreams that they generally are real. They're not symbolic, but I've had a few of those. And then, I don't know, since my sister passed away, I always feel like I'm more in tune with what's going on. She passed away about 9 years ago. So I don't know. I just think that there's so much more out there. And it's almost like it's not even a whole separate um, layer. It's actually right here and we just can't see it except for if you turn fast enough. So
Mm.
hopefully be able to figure that out a little bit better.
Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna come back to you in a little bit, and Fatima, me and you definitely gonna talk. So with you guys, okay, Nick and Tyler, when we talked to you guys, when I talked to you guys earlier, and you were talking about how you were watching TV shows and things like that. Uh, Give me your impression on what you think the TV shows have done for our paranormal community as a whole.
So I would say it's kind of give or take. Some of the shows are there for entertainment purposes. It's strictly entertainment purposes. Nothing they do is real. Nothing is all fake. They do it for the ratings. There's also other shows that have really brought that into life that said, hey, this is a real feeling because you go, not saying my age or my parents' age, but when my parents were kids, even my mom, I was talking to her about this podcast tonight. She's like, I'm a skeptic. I don't believe in that. None of that's real. And it's like, no, we have to bring this to light because there's so much that explains things we can't see. And some of these shows have like brought it out to life per se. So I think that also helps. But it, like I said, it's a give or take. Some for entertainment, some of it is a real thing.
Okay. Now, would you say that the way that these guys are investigating on TV, would you say that's the correct way to investigate a location?
No.
My opinion, okay. My biggest pet peeve: ghost
Heard
adventures.
that twice. Where can I get these pet peeves at? I want one. Somebody's told me twice that today. I like pet peeve. I like where
Pet peeve,
Walmart, HEB. I mean, where do I get one?
pet peeve is something that either annoys the crap out of you, and you just cannot stand it at
Oh,
all.
well, hey, the first pet peeve. I like, damn. I'm like, well,
It's a,
damn, that sounds like something I should have. So,
it's an
hey,
not a Texas
It's a
thing.
northern thing. It's
It's
a
not a
northern
Texas
thing.
thing.
It's a northern thing. But
okay.
no, I remember when Ghost Adventures first came out, Zach Baggins. It was great. I loved it. But now I feel like he's just doing it for the ratings. He's doing it for the money. He's got, his Ghost Adventures a museum or whatever in Vegas. And the way he does paranormal investigation is just, in my
It's just
opinion,
wrong.
just downright disrespectful to the spirits and the property, because he's like invoking it and purposely trying to invoke the spirit to get it out. And then he wonders why he's being attacked. Like, but gee, I wonder why, because you're disrespecting the spirit. They're going to attack you. Just like if you were disrespecting a human person in front of you and you're invoking it, yeah, they're going to turn around and, pop you one or something. So, but like,
Exactly.
right. And then, but Taps is the one that I really, really like. Jason and Grant. Those two are the ones, my two favorite paranormal investigators. And then Jack Osborne, I like
Oh, yeah.
him. Jack Osborne's really good.
And the Boo
then,
brothers. You gotta love them.
oh
You gotta
yeah, the
love
Boo
those.
brothers.
Boo
Yeah, they're
brothers
good.
are the best.
But yeah, like
They're
my
funny.
like Tyler just said, you got shows that it's give and take. It just depends on how you look at it and how they're going about it and whatnot. Like I could we'll sit there and be watching shows, and Tyler and Betty will be sitting there looking and watching, and we'll sit there and be like, that I could debunk that just as easy as they could debunk that real quick. Or
Right, right.
I'm like that's yeah. And then with me having OCD, that I do agree with, Mike. I do agree with that. The investigation shows that does. I agree with that. They do uh, show good uses with paranormal equipment, and uh, as well as the equipments that we being clueless to even existed. And then when you see it and you're like, oh, what is that? And then, you Google it or
Yeah.
Bing it or whatever your search engine be on the internet. And then you
I
YouTube
usually-
it and look it up and
I
see how
usually
it
go
works.
to Ghost Shop. Ghost Shop, you can get a lot of cool equipment there. And
Ghost
very
Shop.
useful.
Go
Well,
stop.
all right, guys, here we go. Go stop. Here we go.
Go
You know,
stop.
Go Stop, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. Go Stop, if you guys deal with Go Stop, I guarantee, and I can honestly tell you, if you guys go to Five Below and see some of the equipment that they have that they don't know that is that can be used for paranormal investigations, I guarantee you that you would quit going to Go Stop, because that bear that you have, you could probably buy that at Five Below. And it's a motion bear. You
Yeah.
touch it, and it. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
You know, I bought so many things from Five Below where I don't even deal with Ghost Stop.
Right. Like we only bought what? That Boo Bear off of Ghost Stop? That was the only thing we bought
No,
off
I
there.
bought
Or
other
what else did you buy?
Send it back.
And didn't I get that too?
No, I got that EVP off of Amazon. I've got the cat ball off
Open it, open it.
Well, then I
Female.
got two things there.
Open it, Mom.
but I was on a former group before I actually started my team. I was on the Newark Paranormal
Let's see that,
Society before I formed my team, and that's where I got my obsession with the SLS camera.
Mm-hmm.
They have actually had. He actually built his own SLS camera, and they have built their own, motion bear, EVP motion detector bear. They pretty much have built most of their paranormal investigation equipment, and kind of like, hey, show me how to do that.
Okay. Now the
Yeah,
cool.
like I said, like a lot of these things, you can go to Five Below and pretty much any store and get
Mhm.
these and make it your own self. If you
Oh
get
yeah.
the, and YouTube shows you how to make them. So that's what my wife
Mhm.
does. She goes, she's a YouTuber. Well, I wouldn't say she's a YouTuber. She's a YouTubee. She likes to use the YouTube, and that's where
Now,
she gets her cooking skills.
okay. Have
Oh my
any of
god.
have any of you guys ever played Simon Says the Simon Says game?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now that thing is big and bulky, but it's like a circle, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you press it and you try to keep up with it. I made a device like that where it was used for residential only. And what I'll do is I'll contact a certain spirit, or if a certain spirit is there, I would touch a device. I would touch a color, and they would touch a color. And if I'll set it up like where it can be pitch dark, and it could be green, white, red, or blue,
Right.
and we can sit there and I can hit certain colors, then they'll come back and hit certain colors, and it's pretty much like a Simon Says game, and it's so cool. And man, I only spent maybe $20 making that device.
Right.
You know, if you guys got a swivel chair at the house, I took the piece from the swivel and actually put 4 motion detection lights on that. And
Mm-hmm.
I took some cellophane, popped that thing off, and cellophaned it with different colors. And dude, $20. The only thing that what really got me was when I tried to stick it to the device. No, stick it to the little wheel thing I got. Sometimes the glue will wear off and it kind of breaks, but I got some super glue now, so I'm good to go. But hey,
Glue.
uh,
Fix everything. Duct tape,
yeah.
super glue.
All right, guys. Hey, guys. From each one of you guys' perspective, I would like to know what kind of paranormal investigation team that you guys want to be.
Mommy, come back here.
Starting with Sam.
Stay here for 30
What's your ultimate goal on this team? What do you want to take this team and how you want this team to be 10 years from now?
Well, I'm excited to get in on the ground floor and see what happens, and I'm just along for the ride, and I'm excited to see what new experiences I get to have and help support and help them grow as an organization.
Okay, okay. All right. So where the question is, where would you like to see this team in 10 years?
Wow, that's a great question. Hopefully a little bit larger and doing a lot more investigations.
Oh, okay. Now, with that said, uh are you ready to handle more people on your team?
so funny.
Sure, more the merrier.
Okay. Now, who's the impatient one on the team? Who's the one that is the one that has the short fuse, can't handle different personalities, can't handle different attitudes, and I mean, if you can't handle that, how you want more members on the team?
I think 6 is good enough for us. For the simple fact that there's
One, two, three,
more
four,
so.
five.
My wife has social anxiety, so the less people we have on the team, the better it is for her. Unless we
Mhm.
all know the person personally that are wanting to join the team, then maybe. But I am like one of those, like I said, I'm OCD. So my team number has to be an even number. So it's got to be like, I can't just have a 7th team member. I have to have an 8th team member. But it's also not even the fact of being OCD and having that same and even number. It's also the fact that I'm about safety. So I need to have that buddy system going on. And that
Right,
means
right.
that extra person is going to be a third person to the other two that are going.
Okay, cool. Now, I'm going to ask you the same question. Where do you see your team in 10 years? What do you hope to achieve by then?
In 10 years, I am hoping to be able to actually
Do it together.
go cross country investigating very well known places. I literally have a list that I've got that I want to go and investigate.
The Stanley's Hotel.
The Stanley Hotel, Winchester Mansion, the murder house, just the Waverly Hills, Trans-Allegheny, all the asylum and penitentiary station and stuff like that. So yeah, like that's my biggest goal is to be able to go cross country investigating as well as getting residential investigations into, because we have yet to have any residential investigations quite yet, mainly because our name's not out there. And obviously there's no recommendations for us, like, hey, this person's needs something.
Okay, now
No one says black coffee.
let me say something on that. Just because your name is not out there, my friend, doesn't mean that you can't get those cases.
Right. Like I actually have gotten business cards made, and like I posted it up at gas stations that allow you to post up your business cards. I posted
Mm-hmm.
it up there. I've handed out business cards to my friends. Like I
Well,
literally have like 500 business cards, and 250 of them's already gone.
right. Now, what I mean, when it comes to advertising my brand and wanting to get my brand out into the community,
hmm
there's certain things that I love to do to interact with my community.
hmm
And they seem to be drawn to it and they love it. You know, Heath, Ohio, how big is that town by chance?
It's kind of small. I wouldn't even let me see real quick on
It's
how
very small.
what the population is, roughly the population of Heath, Ohio.
I'm trying to think of anything that he could relate to. I think the town of Round Rock is probably more bigger than Heath.
Really? Well, Round Rock has grown over the years.
I've heard that too, because I had a friend live in Pflugerville, God, almost 10 years ago, and I remember Round Rock, but I still remember the construction out there they were doing, and I've heard it's grown since then.
Yeah, man. Anything off of Dassau Road, it used to be farmland, but now all you see is apartments.
Wow.
That
Pretty much.
sounds like downtown Columbus.
Yeah, pretty much.
Apartments.
But yeah, so like as of right now, our population since 2002, our Heath population is 10,621 people in Heath, Ohio, as of 2022 so far.
Okay, so you can say in 3 years, it's probably maybe grown since then. Man, and I'm gonna throw this out here, guys.
Mhm.
And if you guys want to interact with your community, and I'm pretty sure you guys have thought about this, and I'm pretty sure you guys have done it. Just have a meet and greet.
That I have not thought about doing. But I've actually thought about doing our vehicle decals. There's me, Betty, Tyler, Fatuma, and Chris, and Sam. So I mean, like, really, there's 6 vehicles. We can all get our decals and put it on those vehicles and get it out there.
I mean, that's what I did when I first started, but I did not get that. I mean, it's cool when you go up to a red light and say, "Hey," and then you roll your window down. They're all waving at you, and and like, "Hey, blah blah blah." But
Right.
that only gives you 2 minutes before the light goes off. So
Right.
what you want to do is you want that eye to eye contact. You want that physical contact. You want to be able to tell these people exactly what you do within more of a 2 minute time. You want them to pick that camera up and touch that camera, and believe it or not, guys, people, when you talk to people, sometimes people can sense and feel the passion that you have for certain things.
Right.
So if they're able to generate all that passion that you have for what you do, it'll start opening doors up for you. The best place I would do it is at the most active place where people go on a Friday or Saturday, a brewery or you know someplace where people go to mingle.
That one time we did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I would go. Uh,
See,
okay.
I'd like to see us. I mean, we're talking like maybe years down the road. I don't know, but be able to provide an intervention for people, not just an investigation, but
Mm.
for people
Yeah,
who are suffering under, whether it's some kind of, if it's some kind of demonic oppression or witchcraft or whatever they're suffering under, be able to provide intervention for people, not just the investigation. But that's kind of
That
what I see down the road.
that's a good idea. I mean, that's something
I
hell I
actually
didn't even think
yeah,
about.
I do like that
Yeah.
idea because one of the first paranormal teams that we participated with, the lead investigator and founder of the group, she's actually a psychic medium, Reiki cleaning, and uh, some other stuff. But yeah, she does. She comes in and does. Reiki sessions, mediumship, stuff like
Hmm.
that. I mean, like, not
Yeah.
only is she a paranormal investigator, but she also does all this other stuff. So yeah, I really like that
Yeah.
idea.
That's
Yeah,
a
maybe
great
that's
idea.
something we can think about as we move forward,
Hmm.
how to
Or
kind of bring it all together.
Yeah.
hey,
I
guys,
do
let me ask you guys one question. And
Mhm.
what is the one thing that no matter how big the town is, every small town has one?
A graveyard.
Graveyard, cemetery. We're all dying to get in.
I would
Well,
say
no, well, I'm
Or a
talking
church.
about I'm talking about having a meet and greet at. I mean, we can have a meet and greet at the cemetery. I think that'd be great.
Convention centers.
But here's what I'm thinking with this
Convention
meet and greet,
centers.
because we're so close to Columbus,
Mhm.
and right now we're in heavy festival traffic right now.
Yeah.
All the fall festivals, which brings up a good idea. Let's go to Columbus. Let's go in the surrounding area because we know that all these festivals that are going on right now.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
where we can start getting our name out.
Yeah.
There you go. But guys, a library,
Library.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
a library. Libraries are always welcoming to people that wants to provide education, that wants to bring a little knowledge to everyone, and they normally would allow individuals to present whatever they're trying to do at the particular library. Uh, Also, guys, and I know that there are a lot of paracons going on up in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Guys, you have to take advantage of those.
Few of them. There's been a few that I really wanted to go to, and like Betty said earlier, it was mainly babysitters. We didn't really have anybody to watch our little one, but
Well,
we're
take it
hoping
with you. Hell, I'll babysit, no problem.
We'll come down to Texas and hand her off to you then.
I'll babysit. Hey, I don't have any daughters, so having a little girl around me for a couple hours will change my life. I'm pretty because I got 3 boys, and
She'll change your life, all right. Just ask him. She'll change
but you
your
know
life.
what? Here's what I do. Here's the game plan. We'll hit up every ice cream parlor, any candy shop, and I'm gonna fill her up full of sweets and give her right back to you. That's
Yep.
what I would do.
She'll get herself all worn out and she'll crash.
Hey, that's even better. I'm helping you guys out. All right, guys. Now, with you guys being a new team, and I ask everybody this: what kind of paranormal teams do you guys want to be? There are different types. Okay. For an example, my team, we are a validation only. We'll come into your residence. We will validate. Now, the second team is validation, and if they find something, they have a capability of wanting to get rid of her in your house. The third team is validation, getting rid of, but they also able to handle something demonic if it chooses to be, if they choose to be, and they also have a reach out to a certain priest or and so on and so on. But which one you guys want to be?
I want to be the one that does with the demonic presence.
Of course you want
Of course
to, because
I
you
want
go.
to. I mean, I'll be fine.
You go toe to toe. You would go toe to toe with that demon.
But here's the thing, guys.
Demon.
When you guys mention something like that, you guys got to be physically, mentally prepared to handle whatever it may be. You know, have you ever experienced anything like that before?
I actually have been spiritually attacked as a kid, so that's kind of like so. I am like he says, he's all about demonology. He wants to go toe to toe. So I mean, like I'll have his back. I'll have his back on going toe to toe with the demon.
So when I was a
See what
kid,
it's called, Ghostbusters.
when I was
Yeah.
a child, we used to go to. My father became a born again Christian. That's neither here nor there. That's just a fact of this
Mm-hmm.
conversation. And we would go to these Jesus festivals with tens of thousands of people. And I remember one night that I followed my dad and my mom with my older sister into this huge tent, and they were casting out demons. And I watched her like vomit and vomit, and it was just very frightening to watch all these people in there and these people casting out these demons. And I kept wondering what would happen with the demons, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I tell you, my sister was not a very nice person. And after that experience, she was so much worse to this day. I mean, I haven't spoken to her in 20 years. She's that just mean. And I
Interesting.
remember after that happened, but they were praying and doing all that stuff, and I've just never seen in that large of a group. So, yeah.
Hmm.
And I had a personal experience with witchcraft directed at me, where I actually found the tag lock. The tag lock was actually given to me by the family member, and it's a very detailed story. I can't really probably go into it right now, but I actually had to get help from another psychic, another reader, and figure out how to break the spell and go through a ritualistic process with it. So I actually have my own experience with real actual witchcraft, not like just fake stuff, but actually real stuff. And it's,
box.
you know, and it actually involved a personal physical attack by a dark entity when the spell was cast. So that's where the clairvoyance comes in. I actually saw the black entity when the spell was cast. I was actually able to see it. That's how I knew something had happened. But I actually didn't find the tag lock till like a month later.
Oh wow!
Which was an interesting thing. And I actually had to take it to another reader to figure out like who sent this, because I wasn't sure. I didn't know at the time.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of team would like to start off with, Fatima? Would you like to keep it simple, or do you want to jump into dark and heavy stuff?
Well, I think it's probably going to find us, is what I think. I think it's probably going to self-evolve. I think we're going to start out with our own. We're going to start out investigating, and the universe is probably going to lead us to what it's going to lead us to. It's going to find us, I think, and we're going to be faced with, you know, whatever we come in contact with, we're going to face it. And you know, I think we come into it with a lot of knowledge individually. It seems like we have a lot of experience, but I'm sure there are going to be things that we're going to face that we haven't faced, and we're going to have to reach out for outside help, you know, within the community. Because nobody knows everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we'll start off investigating, and then we'll run into different things. I mean, that we're not going to always know what to do, but we have resources. We have people we can contact. We have people to reach out to, you know?
Okay. You know, that's the best thing. I mean, you guys got backup. That's cool. How many of you guys are religious?
I have a religious background. I've tried a lot of different religions.
Okay.
Oh my
I'm
God.
definitely very spiritual, but not as religious as in a church.
Okay.
I'm not really all that religious. I am more of I lean more towards the pagan Viking. Like,
Okay.
I don't believe that there's just one being. I believe there's multiples out there. So I just kind of just do my own thing.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, with you guys doing your own things and people with different, huh?
I'm a Christian.
Christian, okay.
Baptized in October.
What does your Christian faith tells you about what, you know, demons, ghosts, spirits? What do they tell you about that?
They're just, I mean, they're bad and not to play with it. You know, the dark stuff, you know.
So your pastor have not had that long talk with you and tried to convince you to leave it alone?
I don't even think you talk to him.
I don't tell him that part.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
So,
don't tell.
so what are you gonna do when you're out in the community that you guys are holding a function, and he sees you holding this function? So how are you gonna explain that?
Well, when it comes to that time, then I'll figure it out.
It's gonna come a lot quicker than what you think.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah,
a lot quicker than what you think.
I'm not gonna think about it until it happens.
All right, Sam and Nora, where would you guys like to see yourselves starting off first?
Here, baby.
I like it how it is now, and then I wouldn't mind if it grew. But I think that we're all, like Nick says, kind of do our own thing, but we do it well. I think we're going to do it really well together. So I think we're all just going to really grow. and
Okay.
different people's roles might change some, and different people's, abilities might become stronger or might develop. Who knows? And I just think that whatever's going to happen, we have no control over anyway. But I think we were brought together as a group for a reason. So
Okay.
that's what
Okay.
I see.
Cool.
I do have
Uh,
holy water. Somebody asked about holy water. I do have
yeah,
holy
Mike.
water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fatuma, like I said, Fatuma's or herbalistic or
Yeah.
spiritualistic or wicked.
I got a stash. I got a
She's
room. I got a whole
got
room.
all of that for
Mm.
us.
I got a whole room, man.
She's gonna be like, when we go in and do
Oh,
she's gonna
I got a whole room.
like put a protection over us.
Mm.
And then
Yeah.
at the end of our investigation, she's gonna, stage us or whatever, do a clearance
Yeah.
on us to make sure that we don't have spirits following us home, making sure that we don't have spirits attaching, trying to do an
Yeah.
attachment to us. She's gonna be that's what her role is going to be for the time being until because I am actually going to have her mentor me into learning those knowledges because I want to learn the Wiccan stuff. I want to learn all that spiritual stuff. So and I
Okay.
need help with opening up my senses more. So she's going to be my mentorship on that one.
Mm. All right. Hey, Fatima, how you feel about Florida water?
Hey, I just had it. I just had some a few minutes ago. I'm like, I have it in 3 different rooms in my house, and
Dude,
I use it all the time.
It smells really good. I use it for cologne.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's great. I love it.
It smells pretty good, man.
It does. It's great.
Guys, are you guys okay? When was the last time you guys actually had an investigation?
My wife and I, before all this team had actually formed and actually had become active to participating and planning on what we wanted to do. My wife and the last time we went investigating was about a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the Gill House there in Galion, Ohio. It's a very old house, like what was it? Like 1900s, 1902, somewhere around there. No, not that one. Dottie House that was our first investigation. Was Dottie House down in over by Kings Island. But my wife and I, Betty and I, have actually done a lot more investigation publicly with being a guest, like flashlight tours, self-guided tours. Betty and I have done a lot of that ourselves. And pretty much with that happening, that's when we started getting into thinking about, hey, what do you think about doing getting our own paranormal group together, get some people together and whatnot. And
now, are you guys the only team in Heath, Ohio?
as far as I know, yes. As in Lincoln County itself, no. I actually know a group personally called the Newark Paranormal Society, which I was actually a former member of their team at one time, and I had to step back to focus on career advancement, I guess you would say. I was going into school to get my CDL, so I had to step back from the group, and then after I had completed that, they weren't looking to add any more members or having former members return. So,
that sucks.
That's fine. Thanks for the allowing me to be a part of the group and allowing me to experience furthermore, and giving me the knowledge that I needed to be able to live on and form my own group.
Wow. Oh, so question, guys. Does Heath, Ohio have a ghost tour?
Not that I am aware of.
There you go.
So
It
here's
cannot
another
get
thing.
no better than that.
The state of Ohio has more haunted areas than almost any other state, supposedly. But also, it has a very high number of prisons and serial killers. And so, when I got my master's in forensic psychology, one of the reasons that this interested me too is because some pretty significant people came from here, and I wonder, touring their homes or in their hometowns, if you can feel anything not only about them, but just like, did something happen, that you can find that might have been a catalyst. So
Interesting. I think you guys need to start a ghost tour in Heath, Ohio. I think that would be very
That would
interesting.
be interesting. That would be something. We'll have to look into that.
Now that we're doing this right now, and seeing a lot of the comments coming from out of state and out of our local area, I'm thinking long down the road, let's pair up, let's do a road trip or something, and let's
Collaborate.
Yeah, let's collab on some of these hunts, and let's see what we got. Because I'm all for road trips.
Road trip
Well-
in this house. We all live for road trips.
Well,
That's it. We're going on a road trip.
I tell you what, you guys come to Texas, you ain't got to pay for nothing.
All right, that's
Okay.
that working for that one.
Well, I mean, as far as investigation wise.
Okay. Well, we're
You
still
know-
game for that. We're still
So
game for that.
The Bucky's trip isn't on your dime. We have to pay our own.
No, not on my dime. It might be on my penny. But hey, but guys, some of the most haunted locations that I've experienced are here. They're accessible. And we can go and investigate, and you guys can have a blast. I mean, uh, abandoned nursing homes, old uh, residential sites. I mean, places where the elderly has passed on. I mean, it's oh my god, dude. And what's so crazy about Central Texas is they're building hospitals like crazy. So every time you build a hospital, one is being knocked down. But the craziest thing is everybody knows about a hospital. Hospital. When you got a hospital,
Ground is
it goes down to every other thing. Okay, if you got a hospital, you got to have a recovery center. If you got a recovery center, you got to have a rehabilitation center. If you got to have a rehabilitation center, you got to have a nursing home. So let's just say if one hospital goes down, where everything else trickles down. So all those places eventually will become abandoned, and the state would pretty much just sell the property off or just leave it.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, is man, there are so many places where you can just contact the city. If the city says yes, just. But the good thing about it, guys, the city of Austin has turned some of these locations into urban sites. Urban
Mm-hmm.
sites is where kids are allowed to go and instead of spray painting on the outside, you're allowed to go spray paint on the walls or whatever and just go have fun. You know what I'm saying? So you're able to do that and you're able to get into these locations and you're able to investigate and as much as you want, long as you're respectful to the property and don't damage nothing up.
Right, exactly. And that's my biggest thing is like, even if you're going to an abandoned place or you're going to a well-known place, public, whatever, that's my biggest rule. No vandalism, no disrespect, no none of that. I'm sorry if you do, you're kicked off the team. I can't have a disrespectful.
Damn, well, you got no.
I mean, like, I'm not doing no 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. It's plain and simple. You got to be able to respect us You got to respect each of us team members. You got to respect the place that we're investigating. You can't do that. I'm sorry. No 1, 2, 3 strikes. You're out. You're out automatically.
I feel you. Okay, who's the youngest on the team?
Tyler.
Me.
How old are you, sir?
I will be 37 at the end of the year.
Good old 37. I remember
Yeah,
those days.
he's so playboy.
The baby.
Okay, guys. All right. So this question is directed to you, Tyler. And just be honest with me. Uh, are you a big social media person?
Yeah. I'm usually. I mean, I'm huge into social media. Most of my platform is Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I hardly ever use Snapchat. If it's
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, it's not. It's Instagram. But I'm heavy into Facebook. Technology. I mean, that's just how we grew up with, the AOL dial-ups, and then on come the touch phones, the smartphones. But it definitely came with my era, my generation.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay. So with that being said, is social media plays a part a lot in these kids' lives. So we're dealing with future paranormal investigators, and I discuss this with everybody, guys, that comes on the show. Future paranormal investigators that are looking on YouTube, looking on TikTok, and seeing how things are being done. It's bad enough that as you guys were growing up, you guys had Taps and Ghost Adventures, and we know I'm not a big Taps fan, and I'm not a big Ghost Adventures fan either. And but at the end of the day, it's all about ratings and money, as you guys were saying. Now, these future paranormal investigators are saying that. They're seeing how much money can be made by faking stuff. You go into a location and they can, whatever, CGI or PFI or FBI or whatever that I do. I don't know. But they're actually taking our hard work that we've done for years and they're flipping it upside down.
Yep.
It's not right. So as we get older, these are the guys that is going to step in for us when we are no longer able to walk, talk, and use the bathroom for ourselves. You're going to get a pamper. But and with that said, the foundation that's been set for us, and so on, eventually that foundation is going to crack because these kids aren't being taught correctly. They're seeing what these guys on YouTube are doing, TikTok, and all these other social medias, and they're going with it because that's where the money is at.
Yep.
But the question I have for you is, what do we need to do to seal those cracks up in the foundations that's been set for us for a millennia, with these kids that are with these kids that are out there just ripping stuff up, not doing things the correct way. Nobody's teaching them, and so on and so on. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, we can go two ways about this. I mean, if we can do it the judicial way, go through checks and balances, like somehow have a bill law in place to protect and preserve the correct, like almost like a historical monument.
Mm-hmm.
That way we can confirm that this is real. Kind of like a Guinness, or we can go like the Guinness Book of World Records. We create a foundation that can certify that this really happened, this didn't happen, this is a hotspot, this is what you're going to expect, and credit the person that does it. Without those accreditations, it's nothing.
Now, but will that stop? With you saying that, me personally, I think that the kids today, the future paranormal investigators of tomorrow, are still going to do what they do. How are we able to be able to seal those cracks? Because if not, imagine the young lady behind you. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when she become an investigator? Are we going to, because the kids today are looking at TV, YouTube, and I can see myself 30 years from now, that young lady right there is going to be doing the same thing that these YouTubers are doing if they're not trained properly. Now, what I mean, they're not trained properly is because they are lacking one thing. Do you know what that is that they're that kids today are lacking? What do you think it is?
What?
One thing, there are a million.
See, I think
Sorry.
What's the one thing?
I think it would be respect.
that's so too. And with the respect comes that money, like you're talking about. They're getting paid by corporate sponsorships to post this on YouTube, TikTok, for the views. So it's almost like, yeah, I can do this because I'm getting paid $1.5 million to disrespect whatever I just walked into or disrespect the area. And like you said, that the little ones now are going to be like, oh, well, they did it, so I can do it too. And I think if we can cut off, a lot of it has to do with the views, the corporate sponsorships, all that stuff. If we can somehow cut that off, then there wouldn't be no more. Eventually, it's just gonna phase out because everyone already knows it's fake, it's false. We don't want to watch that. We want to watch the real things.
Now, do you think by that it would preserve the way that we were taught as paranormal investigators?
I feel so, yeah, because it's gonna force those kids to go back to the way we did it, back to the roots, because they're not going to have the artificial. Because again, it goes back to, especially kids nowadays, they're all about the money. So they're seeing the clout, they're seeing their money, their lifelines going down drain, because now they're going, oh, well, I'm not getting views because they found out it was fake, and now I'm being, flagged as fake. I'm a fake influencer. So then it's going to go back to, okay, now I have to really do the right way.
Right. Now, do you guys think, what do you guys think the next generation of paranormal investigators are going to be like?
Well, the next Glick Paranormal Society, when it comes up, like I said, I hope that this one right here that's in my lap will take over. And with, obviously she's going to have friends that are going to want to be a part of it. And when she gets old enough to be able to participate in paranormal investigations with us, and when she has, when she gets friends that want to participate with us, as long as, parental approval, we'll be the ones to properly teach them how to do it the right way, and then so forth and so on. Those with our teachings, they will take those teachings and with themselves and then carry those on to their, new team when she wants to go and take over the team and carry it on. So that's my hope for the team, is that it will prosper and go on to, to be able to hand down to the next generation, I don't really care if it doesn't end with a clique member, but I want to be able to, I would love to see my group team name carried down generation to generation.
Okay. Now, why do you
I
guys go ahead?
No, I was just thinking something as you guys were talking, in my mind, differentiating between entertainment and investigating more with a purpose when there's a problem and there's an intervention needed. I think there's a big difference between the two of just, pure entertainment for television and then going in when there's a real problem in a home. I think there's a big difference there.
Now, okay, I'm gonna stay with you, Fatima, for a minute. Now, if you guys ever came across a case where, uh, if you guys ever came across with a case that needs, uh, how can I say this? That had, they say it's paranormal, but it looks like it's more mental.
Yes.
Would you say that today's cases and investigations at residential locations are more mental than actual paranormal?
Well,
That
I'm
the
again.
thing,
like
Could you
kind of
repeat
like
that?
on the boat with that. Like I'm on the fence.
Right, me too. I guess it just depends on the situation. Like what kind of information we got.
Right. It's basically all based on the type of information that they're providing for us, uh, as well as, um, you know, you got to sit there and look at the aspect and kind of like put yourself in the person's shoes, but you also have to kind of like body language, read their body language, take a look at their surrounding, kind of like a uh, baseline investigation type deal, and then
yeah,
from there on
there's a
whether
lot to be taken into consideration with that. I
right,
mean,
exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Because
yeah, I
sometimes
mean,
you will
is
have
there
an
a psych
investigation done.
history? Is there medications
Mhm.
involved? Who all's in the home? I mean, there's so much to look at with something like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm a psych nurse. I'm used to be a psych nurse, and I know Nara's got a history of working with all that kind of stuff too.
Now, yeah, it's
So
weird because you guys are psych nurse and in the medical field. Now,
yeah,
would you guys have to say that? And I've ran across a case like this. Matter of fact, maybe two or three where people are saying that this is going on, that's going on, and when you go in into the and when you go into the the residence, you see 30 bottles of you know medical bottles sitting over there, and half of them are empty, and some of them are half full, and that's telling me either you're running out of your medication or you don't have your medication. Now,
hmm,
what really gets me is, guys, we really don't know what these pharmaceuticals are putting into
Mm.
this medication. Some will allow you to sleep through it. But if you can't sleep, I mean, there's a reason why they tell you to eat and go to sleep. But then there are some pharmaceuticals that are putting things in the medication they really shouldn't be putting in the medication. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like pills that make you see, hear things, and so on and so on. That's why I always says when I look at a situation like that, I always, especially residential, I'm always going into a residential as it could be a little problem, as far as people not taking their not doing what they need to do as far as taking their medication. So it without taking your meds and not doing what you can open up other problems. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you guys think about that?
I agree absolutely.
You're just shaking your head no because of her.
Yeah, it's making me disagree, but
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Like you said, medications. That's one
I agree. I agree. There's a lot to look at.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot to look
Right.
at.
You know, when you get these
Yeah.
residentials that want you to come in and investigate because they believe that there's paranormal paranormal going on, and that's why I would do, like have these questionnaires. You gotta, ask them these questions. Look into there's body language. Like I said, basically preliminary basic line investigation before you go in and be like, okay, we believe you do have something going on, so we want to further investigate. We want to go to the next stage and investigate to see what you really got going on.
There you go. All right. Hey, Sam and Nora, this question is going to be for you guys.
All right, fire away.
What do you guys do on the weekend?
We take care of kids. We're raising grandkids.
Okay, you're raising grandkids. Let's throw this in here. You're driving down the street in your neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see this big old beautiful house. They're having an estate sale. Are you willing to stop?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Why?
Because we love old stuff.
You love old stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have fun with you guys. Now, old stuff. You know, old stuff can cause problems in your house.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know.
My house is full of old stuff.
You got old stuff now, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. If somebody's having a estate sale, what does that mean in your eyes?
Somebody died.
Somebody passed away. Yeah.
So, is it safe to say that you stop and pick up my old chair, and I
One
got an
man's
attached?
trash is another man's what treasure.
I already know all of this incident. I watched this one, so I'm gonna stay out of this one.
So, what happens if I have an attachment to that chair and I go home with that chair with you?
I think as long as we're kind and respectful, you're not going to mess with us.
Yeah, but I don't want you sitting in my chair when I'm sitting in my chair.
Well, we'll work out a schedule then.
Work out no schedule. Hey man, I got no. It don't
We'll
work
put
like
the chair
that.
on the porch. How about that?
Well, that'll work. That'll
We'll put
work.
the chair on the porch.
But
Yeah.
are you guys open to have haunted items in your house?
It would have to.
As long as the ghost is friendly and
Yeah.
doesn't hit me, then
Wouldn't
we're
bother me at
okay.
all.
Right.
The ghost doesn't
It
hit
has
me.
to depend.
Plus, if you were in our house, if you were a ghost, even a poltergeist, you would run screaming. So I mean,
Nobody wants to be in our house.
nobody wants to be in our house.
Well, I tell you what, if you leave me snacks, I wouldn't have no problem. But they're going to be expensive snacks. I'm not going to settle just for any kind of snack.
Yeah.
I want my zingers. I want my zingers every week. I do like chocolate, and I do like.
I like singers.
I do like chocolate, and I do like banana. So, and I like my milk.
How about banana pudding?
Nope.
Homemade banana pudding with meringue,
Wow.
like
Nope.
you get in the South.
Nope.
Banana
Nope.
bread? What about
Nope.
banana
Nope.
bread? Just
If
straight
you-
up bananas.
If you don't give me what I want, you're going to be floating 3 feet above your bed.
Banana
Well,
chocolate.
maybe you could give our granddaughter lessons because she cries at night because she can't float in the air. She wants to be
Nope.
able to float.
No, I'm not dealing with no. So it's okay for you guys to have haunted items in your house, long as they're respected.
Yeah.
Now, does that go with all you guys?
I buy knickknacks and put them in my house, like precious moments. I used to collect those till miracles started breaking them.
They have
Interesting.
nice things.
Yeah.
For me, if I'm gonna stop in a stale state, it's gonna be gym equipment. So unless the spirit is a gym buff and bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger, yeah, I'm not too worried about that.
Okay, but I mean,
no. Here's the thing. It's gonna be funny though. There's a real estate, and he sees gym equipment. He's gonna buy it, and the gym buff is going to spot him, but not spot him that way. He's gonna let it drop.
that is funny. All right. Well, you know what? Hey, guys, we're going on an hour and 35 minutes. This podcast has been unbelievable. I thank you guys for coming on the show. But we're not done yet.
No.
Fatima.
Yeah.
Me and you got to talk.
Okay.
Okay. How many of you guys, besides Fatima, how many of you guys have that twinkle twitch?
Nope.
What's a twinkle twitch? I don't know what that is. What's a twinkle twitch?
It's where something in your body starts twitching.
No.
No.
No. A twinkle twitch is another word. A twinkle twitch is another word for somebody who's has the ability to be out of the norm, as I'm gonna say it.
Oh, okay.
So those of you that have that twinkle twitch, if you're clairvoyant, medium, psychic, those of you that can teleport or do whatever you guys do. Now, it seems like Fatima is the only one that fits in that category. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Fatima. Now,
I think there's a lot of empaths in our group.
There is, but you have more of the sixth sense event, I would say.
Now, tell me a little bit about your gifts.
Okay. Well, I hear voices. I know it sounds funny to say
I hear them
that
a lot
out
when I'm
loud.
drunk too.
I know. I know. It sounds funny when I say that out loud, but it's true. It's true, and a lot of times it keeps me out of harm's way. The voices will tell me, don't go here, go this way, go that way. Especially like when COVID was happening.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good example. Before we actually knew what was happening with COVID, I was working in an emergency room, and I was going to go into this one room without a mask. It was one of the very first cases of COVID that we had in our emergency room. And I was going to go in without a mask, and I went to reach for the door, and I heard a voice that said, "You need a mask." And I was like, mask. And I reached for the door again, and I heard, "No, you need a mask." And so I went back and got a mask and went in and just grabbed some paperwork real quick. And that guy was one of the first patients that died of COVID. And that was a perfect example of the clairaudience that I get.
Okay. What about vision?
Vision, it's usually scary stuff. I hate to say that, but it's usually darker entities. And thank God it doesn't happen too often. It's usually like the banshee I talked about, or when the spellcraft was sent my way, that was a black entity that I saw that particular time. It's usually something like that I'll see.
Okay, so are you able to reach out to loved ones that have been long gone?
Am I able to reach out to loved ones that are long gone? No. I do ancestor worship. I have an ancestor altar in my home where I venerate my ancestors. But I would not say that I can communicate. I don't believe that I'm a medium. No.
Well, I thought a clairvoyant is someone that can see and speak and talk to the dead.
Well, a medium is more of a person who can channel with the dead, like have an actual conversation with
Hmm.
the dead, and I can't do that. A clairvoyant is someone who actually has like clear vision. They'll have visions of something. Um, and usually what I have a vision of is usually a darker entity is usually what I will see and have been able to see. And
Now,
it's usually go ahead.
when you mention um visions, now I don't know the
Mhm.
difference between a premonition and a vision. Is that one of the same, or are they different?
A premonition?
Hmm.
Premonition usually is something that's going to be like happen in the future.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
Hmm.
Whereas the
Interesting.
tension is you can see it happening now.
Interesting. Okay, now with your gifts, how far back does your gifts go?
I love you.
Well, all the way back to childhood. I remember seeing the first the first time I ever remember seeing anything was as a child. I remember seeing a shadow figure. It was a dark figure that was dressed in a cape and a top hat. And I have a
Grandpa,
very, very distinct memory of that as a child and
you
going
should
to
have.
my parents and trying to wake them up like, Mom, there's a man in the kitchen, and I still
Grandpa,
remember it to this day. Yeah.
Grandpa, yeah,
Yeah, I
Grandpa,
don't know. That was
Grandpa,
like the first and once again it was a dark figure. It
Grandpa.
was dark.
Was he
Grandpa,
about 6'2", 6'3"? Pretty tall, top hat.
I don't know. He had a
Interesting.
cape and a top hat and he
Now,
was dark
okay,
figured.
most likely when we are able to see certain things, uh, and I might be wrong, but most of them are just family members.
Huh.
I
Most
agree
of them,
with that. Sometimes, yeah. As a
especially when, yeah,
yeah.
especially when you got a little one right there.
Yeah, we actually, believe it or
Hi,
not,
baby.
uh she we have both Betty and I's mother is no longer with us, and we have a picture. She's got a picture of her mother, and I have a picture of my mother up on the wall. And I was carrying our little one, Miracle, down the hallway with me, and she looked over at the pictures and said, "That's my grandma." And I was all like, "What?" She's like, "That's my grandma." I was like, "Well, who's this one?" "That's my grandma too." So one thing that my mother has always did to me as a kid, as I like to call it, doggy kiss. Basically, she runs her tongue up my face like a dog would. She started doing that to me, and I was like, okay, my mother's definitely around. She's teaching this kid to give me doggy kisses. Hey,
Yeah,
stop it.
I, that's crazy because I used to do my wife the same thing. She used to hate it. She used to hate it. But Fatima, and I want you to be honest with me about this question because there has been a lot of debate with people I've had on the podcast, and we'll jump off the podcast and we will continue the debate
Mhm.
over, phone, and sometimes, it'll last maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And the debate gets tense, and the one thing about me is, as a podcaster, you have to value everybody's opinion, whether you agree with it or not. You have to, look at both sides, and that's what I do. And
Mhm.
I think that's why I'm so successful as a podcaster, because I'm able to do that. So the question that I'm going to have for you is, let's go back to the 1700s. Okay, when the witch trials were going on, would you actually say that witches back then weren't really witches? They were more gifted individuals than anything. Some of them were different. Some of them can actually, see things, hear things, and actually feel things. But people back then did not understand that. And what's so crazy about it, and with you actually having those gifts, what make you feel you would be kind of odd. You would kind of stand out because you would want to suppress everything that's going on, but your body won't allow it because at one point it's really strong, and it's something that's strong in your body and it wants to get out. Eventually, it's going to come out.
Well,
You
it's
know.
interesting you should ask me that because I was married to a Muslim for 9 years,
Mhm.
and I got divorced last year because I felt I couldn't really truly be myself and like explore my gifts and such and like read tarot and different things,
Mhm.
like I just couldn't fully be myself because I tried to be something that I thought he wanted me to be. Do you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Oh
And
yeah.
I wore hijab and the whole 9 yards. You know what I mean? So my whole point in saying that is that sometimes we try to conform to what other people want us to be, and you suppress your natural abilities, your natural gifts to conform. And yeah, so yeah.
Now, is it possible that a witch? Now, people say witches and people with certain abilities are different. Now, is it possible at
Yes,
one
they're
point?
different because witches, I mean, there's spellcraft involved, baneful magic and different things
Mhm.
like that. And then, you get into the debate of white magic versus black magic, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Now, is it
Yeah.
possible at one point that you guys were one, and eventually, as the generations go by, you guys kind of broke off and did your own thing?
What do you mean? As in people who are gifted in witches?
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Maybe.
what I'm getting to is.
Well, no, they say everybody has gifts. Okay, that's the whole thing. First of all, they say everybody's psychic. They say, they say that everybody has some kind of psychic ability. Okay,
Mhm.
it's just a matter of developing it, and and what is your psychic gifts? They say, number one, everybody may have some degree of clairaudience or clairvoyance. It's just a matter of developing your gift over time. Like it's like having your antenna up. Okay, like my antenna is up, and how far up is my antenna? And how in tune is my antenna, right?
Mhm.
Like you have an antenna too. We all have an antenna. It's just how in tune is my antenna kind of thing.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So everybody has an antenna. I'm not special at all.
Hmm.
We all have an antenna.
So basically, what you're saying is witches and individuals that are gifted has never been one. They've always
Correct.
been
Okay.
separate.
Okay.
They're
Okay,
different.
I respect
Mhm.
that. I
Mhm.
respect that. Guys,
Mhm.
two more questions. I'm gonna get you guys out of here. Uh, Betty, let me ask you a question. When you were having your child,
Yes.
do you ever wonder what makes a child a child? What gives your child the ability to learn, process everything that they're seeing? I mean, everything that they're hearing inside of your belly.
That's a hard question. Well, I feel when you're pregnant and you're carrying a child, it's kind of like a part of you. So, because once I had my baby, my firstborn,
Mhm.
I felt empty after having him.
Mm,
He wasn't
interesting.
to me anymore. but I feel like he goes through what I was feeling, with the stress,
Now,
anxiety, any kind
right.
of pain.
Is it I mean, because I know for a fact that a woman generates a certain, um, what is it? It generates. Okay, have you guys ever seen Lucy, the movie
Lucy.
Lucy?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, now that drug, that synthetic drug that women are supposed to produce to their child so their child is able to grow, learn, develop. Can you guys imagine what type of person? Let's say if that movie was true and it really happened. Now, if that's the case, shouldn't everybody want the same drug that she took in that movie that's supposedly able to develop a child's mind and as she grows inside of her mom's belly? I think it's called PHCD or something.
Something like that, yeah.
In your tummy?
hmm Well, see,
Now,
okay, we have two children, okay? This is going to be really interesting.
No, you have one children.
Well, no, we have your mom and I have you. Okay, so this is going to be really interesting.
No, my mom not children.
I actually am a
My mom not
transgender.
children.
Okay, we get it.
You're getting tired.
We get it. All right.
uh oh.
She gets tired. We get it, okay? We understand. Okay?
Too short.
Okay, too shy. I'm actually a transgender female to male.
Hmm.
And believe it or not, I actually had carried this little one that's right here with us. So
Okay.
Aww.
I am her birth mom. Betty does have a son of her own. So with that question that you pitted towards her, it would be towards me as well too.
Okay.
I would not want that drug that would advance her while I was carrying her.
No, it would advance you, or because what happens is,
It's kind of like it goes backwards. Like it advances you, but then
Some ice cream.
to but at the end of the movie, she just
Yes, it
it's
is. Yeah.
like just became non-existent because she gave up that whole knowledge for everybody to know. And so, like, I don't even know if I wanted that or even want that if I was carrying her.
I mean, because she technically has it in her because
Right,
she's
exactly.
she's able to do what she do right now.
Right.
But let's say if Tyler, if somebody was to inject that in Tyler, and he was able to do what she did, would you say that'd be a benefit for all mankind?
I mean, it kind of has its pros and cons, I guess you would say. Just like everyday life, it has their pros and cons. It's just how you look at it and how you act on it. Do you act on it the wrong way or do you act on it the right way?
I mean, to be honest with you, she took the whole 3 bags. Now, can you imagine if Tyler was to use maybe a bag and a half and was able to use 40% of his brain's capacity? That right there is a game changer within itself.
I can't get it.
Please.
It would definitely be a total game changer.
If you can give me something to use at least 15% of my brain, I'll be happy. Because at least I know I have 15% of brain.
Yeah. And so the question is for you guys is, do you think that's where mankind is supposed to be? Or do you think somebody put a block on us where we aren't able or some of us are able to do it, but most of us can't. And if that's the case, why do you think they would put a block on that?
I think they. I mean, if that was the case, yes, it's more or less like they purposely put a block on us, almost to the point of it's for our own good, because eventually someone's going to harness all that power and destroy what's good for mankind. It's basically human nature. So that someone's out there is going to eventually use it for their own benefit and gain, instead of coming together, in harmony. They're going to use it for their sole purpose of being the best, of benefiting only themselves.
Yeah, we got a bunch of little superheroes running around, or bad heroes. All right, guys, last question for tonight. And who can I start with? I'm gonna start with the two up on the right. Sam,
Hey,
how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm borderline. I mean, I can cross over anytime. I'm always borderline.
All right, all right.
Okay, the question I have for you is, man, everybody has one, and I know you do. Where would you like to go on your paranormal bucket list? Anywhere in the world?
I don't know where we'd like to go.
I have no idea.
Oh my God.
I know. See, what'd you have to start me for?
I know the one thing that is on our top list, really, besides the Bel Air, is that we definitely want to go to the Trans Allegheny. That is one of our top.
Well, wait. Hold up. Just because you want to go there, that don't mean Sam and that don't mean she might want to go anywhere in the world. She might want to go to Ireland.
We all discussed it. We
Oh
all
my
went to
God.
Trans Allegheny.
We're on board. We got a plan.
Where would you like? Would you like to go anywhere else besides Trans Allegheny? Mind you, Trans Allegheny has more footsteps in that building than everybody's walking in the state of New York alone.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
I want to go to all the older psych hospitals
Uh-huh.
that
Yep.
are still standing. And then I wouldn't mind going and discovering some of the ones over in like Europe and Germany.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think that
okay.
would be really neat. And
Germany,
also
that
places for the criminally insane. I think that would be very interesting.
well, you can come to my house for that. You ain't gotta go far.
No, we can't.
All right. So, any other place, Sam, or Nara?
No.
No, that's what I want. I want to go over to all of the hospitals and all of
That was
the.
my skull.
Yeah.
Sam, are you with her, or you want to go somewhere else, or you want to go to Trans Allegheny?
I want to go where everybody on the team wants to go because I'm just here for the experiences. So
Yeah.
I'm
It's
along
really
for the
fun.
ride.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, all right. Nick, where would you like to go?
Other
And
than
I say something stupid.
Huh?
what?
I
I would say that's stupid. Actually, I would love to. There's actually two places that I would actually love to go to. Is the Waverly Hills, as well as the Winchester Mansion House. Those are
Okay.
the two places I really want to go to.
All right, Tyler, where would you like to go, brother?
I definitely want to go check out the Penn State Penitentiary. That's been my biggest top one since like 2001. Also,
Okay.
go back to Alamo late at night. Go do a tour through the Alamo.
Yeah,
I've been there 100 times, but I just never did
Okay.
for this purpose.
Now, when you go to, I've never been there. Do they check you when you get into the gate? Make sure you ain't got no cameras or K2 meters or anything? Voice recorders?
For the Alamo,
Yeah.
That would be
honestly I don't know because I was like 10 years old, so we're talking about 20 years ago. So I'm assuming pre 9/11, maybe not. Post 9/11, probably so.
Interesting. Okay, well, all right. Betty, where would you like to go, ma'am?
I actually want to go somewhere like Mansfield Jail.
Mansfield
I've been wanting
Prison.
to-
The
yeah,
Ohio State
I've been wanting to
Reformatory.
do
Yeah,
that
the
for a
Ohio State
while.
Reformatory.
Okay. Now, none of you guys, only one person wanted to go overseas.
I think I want to go to Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. There's a lot of
Yes.
weird stuff going on in Costa Rica. Okay. And last but not least, Fatima, where would you like to go?
Well,
Okay. The creepiest place on the planet that I've seen on TV
I don't know.
is this forest in Asia where people go to off themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but it looks so creepy, and I think it's like the creepiest place on the planet. But that would be
No,
the forest in Asia. Yeah, whatever
one
that
in
place is
Japan?
called.
forest or
Yeah, yeah,
forest, something like that. Yeah.
some kind of
actually
forest.
one,
Yeah.
since those two had mentioned overseas, well, these three, as much as I
Wave and say we can't hear you.
really,
We can't hear you.
Yeah, I could.
Can't hear.
Can you hear me now?
you hear me now?
Come on.
You hear me? Anybody?
I can hear you.
Okay, so it's probably theirs. I actually want to go to the Doll Island. The island that has
Doll
the dolls.
Island.
The island of Lost Dolls. That's down there close to Argentina, I say, somewhere down there.
Costa Rica, that's what I
Yeah.
was thinking of. The
Yeah, doll.
Oh yeah,
I wanna go
that would
there.
be cool.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
well, like porcelain dolls hanging around.
Yeah.
Videos and the shows that they showed with the dolls and whatnot.
Okay, that TV
Yeah.
show with did you watch it when Josh Gates went down there?
I believe I did.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I like Josh Gates. He's good.
And the good thing about Josh Gates, he never say this is haunted. He always leave it up to our discretion to
Yes,
want to
he
be
does.
able to
He does.
do it ourselves.
Exactly.
You know, but
Yes,
okay,
he's very respectful for that.
very. Anybody want to ask me?
Oh yeah, where do you want to go?
Yeah. Where would you like to go?
Yeah.
Would you like
Okay.
to go with us?
Yeah.
Now, is it someplace where I have to go? Does it have to be paranormal?
No.
No.
Okay, I want to go to Cleveland, Ohio. Hold on. I want to go to Cleveland, Ohio, and kick the Cleveland Browns in their butts for losing that game to the Cowboys last week. Yeah, those guys.
We can make it happen.
I'm crying over today.
I don't understand what the hell happened. And we saw how, I don't know if you watched the Dallas game today, how New Orleans Saints beat the crap out of them by 24 points. And I don't understand it.
I don't get the defense. Today's defense just went down. Just automatically. I mean, as soon as the game started, it was over.
But yeah, but if I wanted to go anywhere in the world to investigate, and mind you guys, my bucket list sometimes changes. It's never consistent.
Yeah.
I would like to go to Island of the Dead in New York, where they buried all the COVID-19 individuals that died in New York. Because New York, if the homeless died, they didn't have no place to put them because you can't put them in a regular cemetery because a lot of people thought that was not right. So they put them in the Island of the Dead, which is an island in the middle of the harbor, which it was a lunatic asylum before then.
Yeah. I know exactly which one you're talking about. Yeah.
So, but there are already dead people there, and them putting more dead people, and so they actually started a dead people civil war there. So where it's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
But
exactly the one you're talking about. I've seen it a couple of times.
and you know, and I am a big history buff, so I would like to go to France and investigate Normandy Beach
Yeah.
and not just the beach. The beach. I would like to investigate the bunkers where all the Germans got shot at. Then stream along, go up into Germany, hit a couple of concentration camps, and see what those are about, and just you know just work my way all into Berlin and check out some of those Berlin places and just have one good time.
New Orleans.
Wow, yeah.
New Orleans.
New Orleans would be awesome.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
that would be good. Marie
people
Laveau. Yeah.
people think New Orleans is the most haunted city in America, but it's not.
Yep.
Really?
Uh-uh. You want to know who is?
Who?
Savannah, Georgia.
Excellent.
Savannah,
It is
Georgia.
Oh.
The
It
plantation.
is.
And my
I've
best
heard.
friend lives in Georgia.
Yep. We got a free
Sav-
stay when we go down
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Allegedly, that's the most haunted city in America. Now, we really don't know because a little town like Heath, Ohio, can be a haunted town and nobody would know because
Right.
nobody thought about investigating it.
Yeah. That's
Right.
true.
You know what I'm saying? So we can say the big city because of the history, but what about the small city that has just as much history as the big city?
I would
Right.
think that more of Newark, like their downtown, they have some really old buildings.
Yeah,
down
there's
there.
Newark
Like,
is actually a
really
town
old.
right over. Newark is actually a town right over next to us, literally across the railroad tracks. Literally, there is we have
We actually have a haunted hotel.
a jail, an old jail. It's called the Old Lincoln County Jail, and it is preserved by the Historical Foundation. And
Oh,
it,
thank you.
Bless you.
Thank
but
you.
yeah, there is. We've gone there through the public tour. I've actually worked there as a scare actor during the Halloween haunted attraction. But they're actually, or it is during the time that I was working there as a scare actor, I
Mhm.
was getting a lot of interactions with the prisoners that were there. And I kept telling them, I'm working here, guys.
Calm down, guys.
Literally, like I'd be sitting there, like crouched down, and I just feel a breeze walking behind me, and I looked behind me to make sure it wasn't my other scare actors walking behind me, or that I didn't miss any customers, and I'm just like, and it's one of the prisoners on that floor that I was working on. His name was Charlie. And he had actually committed suicide in that shower that was in that corner of that floor. So he was always walking behind me. And I was like, all right, Charlie, go back to the shower. You stink.
Yeah, hey, well, those breezes that spirits, when they walk by you, you can actually feel that cold spot.
Yeah, definitely.
And
it was like cold as it was each night of the month, you could still tell the difference of the coldness.
Oh yeah, you can definitely tell. All right, guys. Hey, we're going on 2 hours, man. Hey, tell the world how to get a hold of the Glick Paranormal Society from Heath, Ohio.
Literally, you could just Google the Glick Paranormal Society and it'll pop up. Facebook, it'll pop up. TikTok, it'll pop up. The Instagram, and I'm not entirely sure if I have the YouTube set up for it. But we're mostly active on the Facebook page than we are on the other social medias.
And if you are local, hit us up. we have business cards at the gas stations, so you can come check us out there.
Mm-hmm.
How much is gas prices up there?
Today it was $2.89
for Sheets. We usually go to Sheets gas station, and
Did you say
gas station is usually cheap.
Did you say $2.89?
$2.89 a gallon.
Is that considered cheap for you guys, or it gets a little high?
Yeah.
We've been on the
like
over $3 a gallon because Ohio does tax on the unlike Texas, they tax on the gas because we don't have registration like y'all do.
Yeah.
Do you know how much our gas prices are when I passed by the store today?
$2.15.
No.
$2.34.
Oh wow! That's beautiful.
Do y'all have a Circle K? Y'all have Circle K up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's periodically, but yeah, we have Circle K here.
Now Circle K gives you those 10 cents off gas cards.
Yeah.
So it's $2.28 a gallon. Can't beat that.
No.
Can't beat that at all. Well, guys, hey, I like to personally, from the deep of my heart, thank you for letting me join you guys on this Sunday evening. I really appreciate it. You guys coming on the show, showing me love and support, and telling me a little bit about your life and what you guys are doing and what you guys are planning on doing. I wish you guys nothing but success on your paranormal ventures, and hopefully you guys will come down to Texas and we can have some fun, man. I'll show you guys around, and I got a babysitter for you too.
I'm already go back home. I'm telling you, I'm ready to go back home.
I'll go back down. I'll go back down too.
You know what I'm saying? The Austin area is literally untouched. As far as I know, as paranormal investigators, I think there's maybe 2 other teams in the capital city that I know of. Most of the teams are discontinued. They don't like to be, all that stuff. I think it got a little bit more. When you're success, you got your ups and downs. That's like the paranormal field. You got your good and your bad.
Right.
You got the good people, bad people, but a lot of people just get tired of all the drama that's going on in the world. But with that said, guys, if you're ever down here, feel free to come down, look me up. Hey, me and the team would love to have you guys join us on an investigation and just have some fun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I thank you for allowing me to come in your house and sit and talk with you guys again. And guys, all you guys that are on the platforms tonight, all you guys, Kick, Rumble, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and so on and so on. Hey, make sure you guys go on their Facebook page and let's get their numbers up. I have not checked. Let me see. What was the last number on your follower on your Facebook? You guys remember?
It was like 389, I believe it was.
Really?
And we have 339.
Wait. Okay. You said I got 392. Okay. Let me see. Well, on here I got 392. Let's see if we can. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. How many likes? 241?
Yeah. I've actually gained some followers. The last time I looked, I was at like 286. So that actually jumped up a lot more.
Yeah, because on here, I see 392.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. I see 392 followers and 241 likes. I see that
Okay.
on too. So you're not.
I should have.
Anything.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? See if we can get those numbers up for you. No problem at all. So all you guys that are on social media, all those platforms, hey man, make sure you guys go over there and check this team out. Go support. Hit that like, follow button, whatever you need to do to get these numbers up, man. And I would gladly appreciate it. Any last words for you guys? Starting with Fatima.
Mhm. You're muted. Unmute yourself. There you go.
Sorry.
You good?
No, nothing. Thank you for having us on. Thank you very much.
Sure. Hey man, I really enjoy it. Okay. Any last
It's
words
been
for
fun.
Benny, Tyler, Nick? Any last words, guys?
Just, I appreciate everything you do. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for all those that are following us, that are watching this. We really love y'all.
Yeah,
We
thank
appreciate
you.
you.
All right, guys. Hey, I'm gonna let you guys get out of here, man. Some of us, I know you guys haven't ate dinner yet, and I'll let you guys go eat dinner and put the little one to sleep.
Oh,
So,
she's
hey,
already
out.
asleep. She's
oh,
out.
she out.
She's out.
Wow. Look, she's
Out
out.
already. Look at her.
All right, guys. Hey, this is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal. Hey, from Heath, Ohio, with the Click Paranormal Society. Once again, guys, go check them out. Go support. In the meantime, this is Terry. Peace. You guys have a good evening, man, and
You
stay
as
out of
well,
trouble.
too.
All
Thanks
right,
so much
bye.
for having us.
Bye.
Bye.
Rocket.